Oh, okay, so we have Mansfield Civic Centre, which has got the JobCentre Plus in. And yeah, we're gonna have a look around. Interesting. Have a dog hitching rail. Interesting. So this is not bad.
You're on a point. Oh, you just...
Yeah, just having a look at the board
Yeah,
now, mate. Yeah,
fine, mate.
no worries. Thank you. Lovely. So it goes way to work. So that's one of the schemes that's run here by the Job Centre. Mansfield have 88 apprenticeships, 3 disability confident. That's a very low number for the disability confident. It's a shame. And, okay, so you can go to that website to find apprenticeships. Mansfield Industries Recruiting. Find it. Okay. I can't really read that from where I'm stood. It doesn't have a date on it to say when that's from. That one. Oh, it's the same one that's over here. I can read this one better.
Can I ask why you're filming coronavirus notices?
Pardon?
Can I ask why you're filming coronavirus notices?
Seeing what's around. Do you know, is that a new one or is that one of the older ones?
It's been up a while.
That's been on. It's been up a while, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, just noticed. Notice you haven't got any of like the markings and that on the floor. I'm guessing that's what all this was. It's been stripped. It's all been stripped up now. Yeah, that's good. So it's a lot of places ago that this has not been taken up that yet. So yeah, it's nice to see that it has been. Kind of instills confidence that it's kind of in the past now and we're moving forward, which is nice to see, which is brilliant. So you work for ICS?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Quite often find G4S working for job centres, or is it because it's a civic centre?
Yeah, the G4S haven't got the contract.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not like a blanket. They have contract with DWP.
No.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a partnership between DWP and G4S.
Just turn.
That's pointing
Well, you shouldn't really be filming in here, actually.
Pardon?
You shouldn't really be filming in here.
I mean, you allowed me when I came in.
Yeah, but I thought you were doing it for work, job finding purposes.
I was just having a look around in general, really.
Yeah.
Obviously, so.
You all right? Just not point your camera at me, please.
But so it says pointing in front of my body. But yeah, so it being a public place, we are allowed to, and that's all it comes down to. But yeah, so just making a little bit of information, really. And that's all it is. And there's nothing to worry about, and I'm not here for any nefarious intent, not here to harm anybody.
All right. Okay.
All right. But so we've still got that one on there. Maybe it's just hard to get up. And I still just think that's good advice anyway, to wash your hands regularly for 20 seconds. In terms of GDPR, it's still quite an open plan office, which isn't a surprise. You can see workers' computer screens from outside the window.
You can't film customers.
Huh?
You can't film customers in the job centre.
I mean, I'm not specifically filming them.
No, because, you know what I mean, it's data protection.
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
So,
are you alright just to stop filming then, please?
Just before I pardon? I'm just having a conversation with this man. Let me finish this one and then I'll answer that question. So in regards to
just to turn you.
So just okay. So I'll turn it away from the customers then. So just as you were saying about data protection.
Yeah. There's some signs up actually saying no recording devices.
So the data protection cannot be that much of a concern for you here, and I'll explain why. Because those workers' computers down there by the window, they're fully visible from outside.
Well, that's for you to take up with
exactly.
DWP
and I will. So obviously, I just need to get the recording for evidence purposes and make sure that I have that on camera, because I can make any allegation, but without the evidence to back it up, it's unfounded, and you know they may not look into it. So, and that's all it is.
What is it? One of these auditing?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you've cottoned onto it. Yeah. So obviously you've been briefed on it, have you? Or have you seen? No, you've just seen them online and stuff. Yeah, no worries, and that's fine. I know that there is actually guidance. I think the most recent one was May. It was updated May or March. I know it was one of the M months.
You're right, just not point it away from the public area.
And there was guidance from the DWP on audits and people coming in recording in here, and the guidance was that although it's in your policies that you don't allow it, there is no way to stop it from happening. And the advice for the security is just to keep a distance and observe, and that's it. As long as I'm not being threatening or abusive to anybody, there really isn't anything else I can do. You've asked me politely to stop, and that is the end of your remit, really. You've done your job. And then the onus is then on me to either stop or not. And the guidance for you is to just keep distance and observe. As long as I'm not harming anybody, I'm not being threatening. You can call the police if you want to, but it'll be a waste of time because there's nothing the police can do about it either. But I don't want you to, get yourself into trouble by overstepping your remit, and I don't want to see you get yourself in that situation. So, I'll tell you straight up what the guidance says for you because I've read the document myself. But other than that, there's really not a lot going on other than that. I do like to film what's on offer at local job centres.
I did actually think you...
I was filming that, and I do like to get that because when people watch this, I go to different locations and there are people in those locations that like to see what's on offer at a local job centre. But as well as that, it is important to show, say from here, I can see one computer screen, luckily nobody's on it at the moment, but if I was stood here using one of these computers and I could see somebody having an appointment, all of their information's on that screen. I could stand outside the window and the computers that are on display from outside.
Well, obviously I can't.
No, you can't comment on that. But I know you're just security. But part of security, as you said about asking me to stop filming because of GDPR and data protection. You have that duty of care over the claimant's information as well.
That's not.
That's not you. No. I mean, as a conscionable person, then maybe it's just something you can pass on to the manager that those screens are on display.
I can raise that.
Yeah, you can raise that and say that I've been here, I've filmed it, it is an issue. And I actually got given an email address earlier. Where is it, that one? Yeah, I got given an email address earlier to raise these complaints to. So now that I've I've filmed, I've got the evidence for it, and I'll forward that on to the appropriate people. But other than that, I'm not going to force my way into the office area because there are people having an appointment, and I think that would be rude because I would be able to overhear what they're saying. Again, although the onus is on the job centre to keep that private, if say for any unfortunate circumstances you lost your job and had to come and use this place, fingers crossed that doesn't happen, and you had to have an appointment next to somebody else having an appointment, they could overhear your home address, your details of your personal life, your circumstances. It's not an acceptable way for a government body to handle people's personal information, really. I think it's quite wrong. But so that's kind of why I do what I do, because I like we have the right in this country to hold our government to account, and DWP are a government body, and job centres are a part of it. So that's kind of why I do it. You know, I'm not here to be aggressive to anyone or cause any aggravation. That's not my goal. You know, you guys, it helps when you guys are polite to me as well. I do go some places and some people don't have the verbal communication to deal with it, and they just go straight hands-on, and that's such the wrong approach, and that's what escalates situations. You know. But yeah, so I appreciate that.
Okay.
But yeah, so other than that, like I said, I'm not going to go down that way. There's just a couple of signs on that pillar I'm just going to zoom in on. Just get a shot of those. Again, I'm not filming anybody, I'm just getting what's on that pillar.
Well,
I've zoomed in so nobody on that side is there.
No, you're going to have to leave then.
Pardon?
You're not allowed to take images in the job centre.
Okay.
Can I ask, are you able to delete them, please?
Pardon?
Are you able to delete them, please?
Delete them? No,
What
absolutely
are they
not.
for?
Pardon?
What are they for?
I was just explaining to this gentleman, just basically, I like to film information that's available to the public in job centres, and I also like to highlight the breaches of GDPR that happen in job centres. So are you a manager here?
I'm not a manager, but I don't consent to my images being taken.
Okay, I mean, you've obviously seen that I've got a camera in my hand, and you've walked up to me. If you don't want to be on camera, it's not an intelligent thing to walk to somebody who's obviously got a camera in their hand, is it?
I've asked you to stop there.
Okay. As I explained to the gentleman, I was taking pictures of what's on the pillar there without trying to walk into that area. That's all I was doing.
Still taking pictures of staff and everything, so I asked you to remove them.
Okay, you can't. Nobody without a court order can force somebody to delete anybody from their phone. Pardon?
What's your name?
What's your name?
Pam.
Pam. Nice to meet you, Pam. I'm not going to give you my name. Sorry, but.
Sorry, excuse me.
But yeah, I'm not going to give you my name. I don't need it.
So where are you going to be distributing this information?
Pardon?
You said you share it online. Where you
Well, as I just said, I've got a post-it note in my pocket here that I was given earlier.
I didn't give my consent to be
So
online.
I was given that email address earlier, which is for the data protection team for DWP, for the regional team for Nottinghamshire. So what I plan to do with the footage now is, now that I've filmed for evidence purposes, and I'm going to forward this footage to that team to
So
highlight.
It's not going online.
Potentially.
What's it for the purpose of?
So as I said, I was highlighting the breaches of GDPR. I do like to film what's on offer in local job centres as well.
What GDPR do you think the breach is?
So as I said, from when I was stood there, I can see at least one computer screen. From outside the windows on the public in the public area outside, there are multiple computer screens that you can see through the window. Obviously, whilst you're having an appointment with somebody on one of those computers and it's got all their information on the screen, that's not an acceptable way.
What's the purpose of you doing this?
Oh, to make sure that our governments are processing our data in accordance with GDPR and DPA.
Right, but that is a public walkway through there.
Well, it is. I mean, there's literally a public footpath. If I had a good enough zoom and a professional camera rather than just my mobile phone, and I could zoom in and get all of that information that's on those screens, and even if I could walk right up, even if I can walk right up to the window and film through it, it's not an acceptable way for the government to process and handle our data. And that's the issue, is we just need to make sure that the accountability is there for government bodies, and make sure that our information is not being distributed in ways that it shouldn't be.
We're not distributing it in any other way.
Well, it is, but by having it on display, it's got the potential to be distributed. It's like if you went to the DVLA and they had photocopies of everybody's driver's licences just on display. It's people's personal information that needs to be held securely.
But we do hold it securely. It's password protected. And
But while it's on display on those computer screens, it's not.
Excuse me, young man, you have to leave the building.
Pardon?
You'll have to leave the building.
Okay, I was just having a very polite conversation
No,
with this
don't
lady.
matter, I've been told to have you out the building.
Okay, how come?
Because you're taking photos and you're not allowed.
It's being filmed.
Probably filming store now as well,
Right,
so
okay.
can
So
you leave?
you'll have to go, please.
Oh, it's,
We'll warn the police if you don't go, you'll
as I said, as I was having a very polite conversation, I said if
You have been
the-
so polite, and we're not arguing with that.
Yeah.
We have asked you politely to stop
Yeah,
filming.
Okay. Okay. If you call the police, it will be a waste of their time because there's nothing the police can do about it.
We'll get you out of the building if you don't.
The police can't get me out of the building.
You filmed
They
us without
really
your
can't.
consent.
Pardon?
You have filmed us without our
Okay.
consent.
You film me without my consent.
You've walked into the public building.
You've walked up to me with a camera.
But you know you're not allowed to film in here, that's what I've said.
But your policies and your documents say otherwise.
this is the government building. You walked into a government building.
Yeah,
Okay.
come
Okay,
outside then.
Okay.
Okay, mate.
So if I plant my feet and I stay here, what's going to happen?
We'll just wait
Right,
for
well,
police.
You'll call the police.
We'll have to move you.
You'll have to move me. Well, physically.
If we have to, yes.
Okay. So now that you've admitted that you'll use force under duress, I will leave. I would like to point out I am only being removed because I'm recording. If I were not recording, I could stand here and have a look around and have a look. But because I'm recording, that's why I'm being removed. So under duress, you are now breaching Article 10 of my human rights and Article 14 of my human rights. If you're under duress and threat of violence, I will leave.
We haven't
But-
threatened violence.
No. They have. He's just said that if I plant my feet and I refuse to move, then he would physically remove me if he needs to.
But that's not violence.
That it is. Putting hands on me without my consent, that's violence. So under again.
Our consent.
So can you just go now?
Okay. So under duress, I will leave. Okay. I'm
Okay,
just making sure that's on
want to
camera.
leave then,
Okay.
please? Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Alrighty. So yeah, you can wait for the civil case in the mail.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Cheers then.
Have a
Thank
good day.
you. Bye.
Sarah. And
Yeah, okay.
huh?
Get out. Stop filming. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop filming, but I will get out because you have threatened violence. So.
Nobody's threatening.
Oh, you have. You said that you would put hands on me if you have to. So that is a threat of violence. He did.
Yeah, well, I didn't.
No, you actually said you would phone the police. He did. But I have been
Okay
threatened
then.
violence.
Cheers then. Thanks a lot.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Sarah. I'll go film those computer screens from the window now, alright? So, again, I will make sure that these... Oh dear, look at all that information. Not good, not good. Health conditions reported. Looking at somebody's case on that computer screen, and it's got somebody's health conditions on it. That is disgusting. You know, all these computer screens here that they're not on at the moment and they're not having appointments, but all of this information on display to members of the public as they walk past. And it is just simply disgraceful. Again, I'm not going to... I will make sure this is all pixelated so nobody can see it. And now they're rushing around closing all the blinds, as they should be. They should have been closed a long time ago. Interesting. Interesting. So yeah, under duress and threat of violence, I did leave the building. But yeah, we're going to leave it at that one. Unfortunately. So it'll be interesting now to see, potentially because they've had that GDPR breach, where I've just filmed information through a window. Obviously you guys know that's for no nefarious intent, but they should now report that to the ICO because the onus is on them to report any data breaches. So yeah, we'll see how that one goes. Perhaps in a week or so, I don't know if they've got a time frame in which they're meant to report GDPR breaches. I'll look that up, and if there is a set time frame, I'll wait for that time frame to pass, and then do a freedom of information request to see if it has been reported properly to the ICO. Right guys, I've got one last video for the day. I'm going to head down to the police station here in Mansfield and check it out. And then I think I'm done for the day, guys. I'm going to go and see one of my members of my channel lives relatively close by, so I'm going to pop over and see them for a cup of tea and a proper nice chat. So we've been talking for a while, and them and their partner seem like lovely folk. So yeah, we're just going to really see, go and really meet them in person and see if we can build an even stronger rapport. It's nice to be able to meet you guys in person if I can. But yeah, as always guys, like, share and subscribe, and until the next one, ta-ra.